well, this is what everyone should deal with. Because, America, black people should deal with it. People from Jamaica, people from everywhere there should deal with it. And then other people will know that it is true and deal with it too. Because what we are dealing with, is something higher. I mean, it's not what we are dealing with. The reality of what's going to happen is something higher than man's own personal little vexation and pride self. This is something where no man can stop, because all nation are going to gather and all nation are going to say yes, I'm right. And some plenty will die, but there is the people who did it, who want it and no sense to them one, which is the truth, the right to live. Which when you check the right to live is to have the right vibe. The right vibe come from Rasta, because it's just so it come, it not come another way, it really come from Rasta, the head. That means this is where all people must really deal with, because themselves I try find the way every day them get up and look on TV, them read the newspaper, them want to say the truth. But them can't say the truth, because the truth will not be found there. That is why the man said this revolution will be telepathic. You understand?
You understand? The revolution will be telepathic. You heard him right there. Bob Marley, poet and a prophet. Bob Marley, walking like he talking. Yes, we pay homage to the God, Bob Marley. That was an interview he gave from 1979. And we know just a couple of short years later, Bob Marley left us. But what he left us was an indelible legacy, not only of his music, but a philosophy of racial harmony, but understanding that, you got to treat Black people right, okay, first and foremostly. So we love to pay homage to our ancestors as we continue on Black History Month. Welcome, everybody, to the Tuesday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I'm so happy and excited to see all y'all smiling faces up in the place. Listen, don't forget to smush that subscribe button. I know people tell you to smash it, hit it, push it. No, smush it. Smush that subscribe button. Like and share with your people. You guys have been doing that. And let me express, first and foremostly, my deepest gratitude. Shout out to all of our patrons, y'all. We have 41 patrons, which is fucking crazy to me. And we are trying to reach our goal of 50 patrons by the end of February, because as you all know, there are 4 people that work on this show. All 4 of us lost our jobs in December. So we are very much doing this out of a labor of love, but any sort of material support you can offer us, we certainly appreciate it. And no amount is too small. Trust you me, because I understand we are in very difficult financial times. Y'all can easily keep your money in your pocket. So anything that you would like to share, it is deeply appreciated. So today's program, ladies and gentlemen, I know some people may think I'm picking on Joe Biden, but I'm not. Actually, Joe Biden has had all this smoke coming to him for quite some time. And today's question has to do with one of his campaign promises, something that he guaranteed that he would do within the first 100 days. And that is to let the kids out of cages. He said he is going to deal with the immigration issue, and his administration did express that they were going to have a plan coming in the coming week and perhaps even a few days. So I will be extremely interested to hear that. But as you guys already know, many in the activist community are already holding Joe Biden and his administration's feet to the fire on Monday, which was Frederick Douglass's birthday. But some people might have called it President's Day. Could have been President's Day. I don't really know. I don't acknowledge the presidents. But on Frederick Douglass's birthday, here in the District of Columbia, there were a big march put together by immigrant organizations like Undocu Black and a bunch of others. And I want us, if we could, to take a quick peek at a little bit of what happened on DC on Monday. This footage is from friends of the show, Sean Michael Love from Black House News and Chuck Modiano, photojournalist and independent journalist. And I just want you guys to take a look and listen at the voices and the people that were out there in the streets demanding accountability for the Biden administration and what could be is he going to continue in the callous steps of his predecessors, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, H.W. Bush? We shall see. But the people are already out in the streets to let Joe Biden know that they're watching him and time is ticking. So, Brother Tunde, if we could take a look at that footage, please.
We are out here with Undocumented Black and a coalition of organizations who are fighting to end the deportation of thousands of Black immigrants. I think it's important that the framing is Biden deports too, because we have a lot of times collective forgetfulness about the legacy of this country. And we know the legalize, arrest, deport Black migrants, and Undocumented Black and other organizations have been at the forefront highlighting the ways in which Black immigrants are incarcerated and deported. And Biden, again, has continued the legacy of Trump, has continued the legacy of Obama, has continued the legacy of Bush, has continued the legacy of Clinton, and that is attacking Black migrants. There's not a large percentage of Black migrants in this country, but Black migrants are more likely to be criminalized and more likely to be deported. And the increase of criminalization of Black immigrants happened under Obama, to which Biden was the vice president. And so we're out here to say no more deportations. We're out here to show solidarity to Haiti that is rising up right now. Haiti and Haitians are facing the brunt of attacks in this country on the migration front. And we've seen an increase of Haitians at the Mexico border and the increase of report to Biden orchestrated mass.
Stop the deportations. Pretty simple, right? And, you know, given the fact that President Barack Obama was nicknamed as he deported almost 3 million people during his administration. And you know what? You know who was standing right there next to Obama, deporting all the millions of people? Joe Biden. So I'm a little reluctant when people are like, Joe Biden's just getting into office. I'm like, yeah, this office, but Joe Biden has been in Washington, D.C., co-signing on bad policies for 5 decades now. But I digress. We're going to get to the nuts and bolts of potentially what the Biden administration is going to do to help immigrant families and refugee families. Today, guys, I'd like to welcome Jonathan Aftalion. Jonathan is an experienced immigration attorney who specializes in deportation defense and family petitions. And as the son of immigrants, he passionately advocates for the unification of immigrant families. And Jonathan, I certainly appreciate you making some time to help us, to bring some clarity to what has been really a muddled situation when it comes to immigration, but now going back several presidential administrations. So thank you so much for making some time to be with us here today.
Thank you for having me, Kim. And so we've seen a lot of difference in rhetoric with the Biden administration. Unfortunately, we haven't seen much action as much as we would like. So if I could help inform anyone, if you have any questions, that I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, lots of questions, Jonathan. And first and foremostly, the question that is foremost in my mind is, are children still being held in detention? Are kids still being kept in cages? And are families still being separated?
Well, as of right now, I haven't seen any actual policy that would stop that. What President Biden did was he created a task force through an executive order. And that task force is meant to examine families at the border. And as of right now, it's just been that. It's just been to examine what's going on. He's been taking a very cautious approach to the problem at the border, because I think people in his administration don't want to open up too much. They're scared they're going to have an influx of lawsuits. So they have been taking a very cautious approach.
So let's take a look at what the Biden administration has done already, and it's come largely in the form of executive orders, as you mentioned. He ended Trump's horrific, disastrous Muslim ban, which it's a good thing, but I don't know so much if it's a good thing because it is someone who is undoing a terrible thing. So it's not like he's doing something above and beyond for the people who are coming from majority Muslim countries and African countries who are on Trump's list of banned people, but he undid that via executive order. So we'll count that as a good thing. He's also redirected or stopped the emergency funding for Trump's border wall, which was also disastrous, not only for the environment, for, migrating animals, but, it cut across sovereign native territories, across sovereign native land, cutting off those native communities from each other. So we'll count those as good things, to be nice to Joe Biden here. But when it comes to what he has at least promised in his first 100 days, to hopefully reform and create a pathway to citizenship for refugees and immigrant families, what have you seen so far coming out of the White House this year?
So far, they've proposed a bill which would change immigration policy, and that would create paths to citizenship for immigrant families that are already here and also dreamers. He reinitiated the DACA program. As of right now, until his bill goes through, he has ordered that they ease those restrictions on the DACA recipients, which Biden has emphasized. So we do see that he is trying to implement some sort of immigration policy, but their administration has been constantly saying that it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. And there's a lot of people that are being negatively affected right now, who are not just in the United States, but who are trying to come in from overseas. And I do understand that you said that regarding the Muslim ban, he did take that off, and that was horrible. And it's good that he did that. However, I do want to highlight that Trump's proclamation, which bans entry to all family members, spouses, children, parents due to coronavirus, that proclamation is still in effect. So that's Proclamation 10014, and it's been extended multiple times. So even though it looks like those people from the individuals, families from those Muslim families can come in reality, they cannot, because there's still a presidential proclamation in effect that's barring their entry. And for whatever reason, the Biden administration has not yet rescinded that policy. And there is ongoing litigation in the Northern District of California. And there are lawsuits with over thousands of people and hundreds of families to try creating a class action lawsuit, which initiated with Trump and now is continuing with Biden to bring in these family members.
Now, another aspect of the Biden administration's immigration policy within the first 100 days, he claimed to issued an order to stop deportations. However, that was blocked by a federal judge, and in fact, ICE has continued to pursue deportations, as we saw some of the protest footage from Monday in DC from immigrant groups talking about there has been close to 1,000 Black migrants from the Caribbean and from Africa who have been deported. And that sort of brings me back to a question about TPS, about the temporary protected status of people coming from nations like Haiti, like Cuba, like Venezuela. First, let me circle back. Actually, sorry about that, Jonathan. What's up with ICE? Can ICE just refuse a presidential order? Are we seeing a rogue agency disregard the orders of the sitting president?
Well, I think when you're talking about the actual deportations is right now there's a stop to deportations in effectuating the deportations, as in putting the individual on a plane and sending them outside of the country. So as of right now, there is a halt on those types of deportations. Now, if someone is ordered removed from the United States then that is ICE's as their enforcement agency. It is their job to take that next step. Now, so those that actual effectuating the deportation is currently at a standstill right now, or at least it should be. And if they're going against that, then yeah, there's legal avenues that could be taken.
And when it comes to the people who are here that are protected under TPS, what is the status with that? Because some places, well, I'm speaking of Haiti specifically. I mean, there is an uprising in Haiti going on right now to toss out the American installed and American backed puppet person, but people from Haiti who have come to the United States have been afforded this TPS protection, and it seems that is now in danger. Can you tell us more about that?
As far as we know so far, Biden says that he does want to expand temporary protection status. And not only that, he's gone beyond. He does want to create an avenue for citizenship. That could be people who were ordered, or that could be people who are here unlawfully currently. And also in terms of TPS, he does have an agenda to expand that. Trump definitely wanted to negatively influence TPS.
So Jonathan, as we kind of look back on the past 40 plus years, really, of immigration policy from both Republican and Democratic administrations alike, it seems as though the ball keeps getting punted, right? For every administration. After Ronald Reagan allowed amnesty for a large number of undocumented people here in the country, it seems as though every successive administration has really tried to crack down hard on immigrants, including Democrats, Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. Given that what we have seen coming out of the White House for a while now, not just this White House, but previous administrations as well, why is this such a difficult issue to get resolved? Why does there seem to be a decades-long sort of stalemate happening in Congress, and something that Republican and Democratic presidents alike cannot seem to resolve to everyone's satisfaction, to allow people to come here as immigrants of 100 plus years ago were able to come here pretty freely. But there is this big block against immigrants, specifically of color. Talk to me about how the immigration policies have evolved, or perhaps even devolved since Reagan. I know that's kind of weighty. I'm sorry about that. No, but as best you can.
Yeah. So Kim, you're right. Immigration, I like to think of it as waves. So the wave goes up, the wave comes back down. Policies are more stringent, and then policies open back up. So that's pretty much what we've seen. And as of right now, Trump was very restrictive in terms of immigration. So we're hoping that the next wave would be more openness and willingness to accept people from around the country. Trump, in terms of his rhetoric and his policy, it was a American first policy. And what we've seen in Biden's rhetoric is that he's more open to humane avenues to reunify families, and he has been more open to allowing family members to reunite. But again, those have been taking a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. And in terms of the Immigration Nationality Act, that is the act that has been passed through Congress. It's only been revised one time, so it's a very, very outdated immigration act. The last time it was revised in the early 90s, that was a time where it was very hard on criminal. The United States, federally and state-based, were very hard on controlled substance violations. Since then, for about the last 25 years, states and the federal government have been easing up on controlled substance, on drug offenses in terms of their penalties. But the Immigration Nationality Act has not been amended since. So you could have someone with a simple possession of marijuana, and right now it's decriminalized in a lot of states. And that person could be placed into removal proceedings and be deported just for having like one joint in their hand. And so there's a lot of reform that needs to be done. That's just one example of the reform that I would like to see done. And Biden, he proposed something. We haven't read it yet, but he says that he wants to make big sweeping changes to immigration policy. So we'll see if we'll be able to do that.
I mean, it seems that there's a lot of these things that can be done really by the stroke of a pen, because that's how Donald Trump wielded the issue of immigration from the Oval Office by executive order. We didn't have major immigration legislation passed during the Trump administration, and much of what we saw was just what Donald Trump wanted to happen. And what happened was absolutely horrendous. The conditions that we saw, immigrant children, undocumented children, and adults being held in close confines during the pandemic outbreak, people died while in detention in ICE custody. Can you talk to us about, perhaps anecdotally, like some of the cases that you've witnessed and that you've seen and people that you've represented? Have the conditions improved any for people who are still being held either for deportation or still just caught up in this transition between the Trump administration and the Biden administration? I mean, what is the status for some of your clients, and what have they experienced, and have they been able to be reunified with their families and with their children?
So I think it's still too soon.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen much of a difference on that front. Biden did order ICE to ease up on the arrests. In terms of the people I represent and the people that I know, they haven't seen much of a difference. The ones who are detained, they're still detained. So it's just too soon. It's too soon to know exactly what the difference is right now. And like I said, in terms of reunification, Biden right now, he's been a lot of talk. He's been creating task force. He's been trying to investigate what's going on, but he hasn't really. His actual effectuated change is very limited. And like I said, there's this presidential proclamation in effect from Trump that bans entry of pretty much everyone, of spouses, parents, children, of U.S. citizens. And lifting the Muslim ban looked nice, but it didn't do anything in reality because families are still separated, and they have been separated for many years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And speaking of, when we compare and contrast the policies of, let's just say, the past two administrations, from your experience, what was the major difference between the way the Obama administration handled the issue of immigration and refugees versus how the Trump administration handled it? It seems to me that perhaps they were, I guess, different shades of cruel, like perhaps one was slightly less cruel than the other, but you dealt with this firsthand. So I'm be really curious about your opinion about how each administration handled the issue.
Yeah, you're talking specifically asylum.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say a lot of the difference is rhetoric. Obama just speaks nicer. So he could have had a lot of policies that were deporting a lot of individuals. But because of the way he speaks, it seemed like he wasn't as hard on immigration. And Trump, in his rhetoric, he created a lot of division. He created a lot of America first. He came in campaigning with the wall. We got to build this wall. We got to build this wall. And then actually was able to start building it. And I've been down to that border. I've seen that wall. I've seen it being constructed. So, and then in terms of their actual policies, Trump was definitely a lot more restricted. He did attempt to detain a lot more individuals through ICE. Obama was a lot more lenient in terms of prosecutorial discretion. So if someone was placed into removal proceedings to be deported, if they had discretionary factors, we were able to show those discretionary factors to the Department of Homeland Security, and they were able to use their discretion to put that case aside and not deport that individual if they had family relatives here with status, or if they were working, or if they employed individuals, or if they've been here for a very long time. During Trump, that sort of went away, and we're hoping that it does come back more so with Biden as well.
Jonathan, we have a question here from the comments from Microsoft Word technical support, longtime viewer here. They ask, why is it taking time? I thought immigration can be addressed via executive order. At least Trump indicated that it was. And if that's the case, then why is Biden taking any time? At least for the presidential proclamation that you spoke of, Jonathan. So basically, that is something that Joe Biden could really do away with, like anytime he got good and ready to. Is that accurate?
I mean, we would hope. I'm dumbfounded as to why he hasn't lifted that yet. I really don't know. I really don't know the reason. Again, there's ongoing litigation with law offices of Rafael Urena and Curtis Morrison right now, that they do have hundreds and hundreds of families in these lawsuits trying to bring those families together. And really, Biden just has to rescind that proclamation, and then we'll be able to move towards getting those individuals here. I mean, even without that, the lawsuits are going to be pending, and hopefully, regardless of what Biden does, we'll be able to reunify those families. Mm-hmm. In terms of making changes through executive order, it's limited. So what we really need is sweeping changes through the entire Immigration and Nationality Act. Like I said, a lot of the language there, a lot of the paths to legal residence, a lot of the bars to legal residence, they are very archaic. And that does need to be passed through Congress. And you do need some sort of a bipartisan agreement on that. And I think that's why, to address your earlier question as well, that why we haven't seen it in so many years. I think people can be fearful of their constituents, thinking that immigrants are going to come in, take their jobs, all the same tropes that people use usually when they want to alienate and they want to discriminate. So there are certain things that presidents can do, but the sweeping changes that we need to reform the actual Immigration Nationality Act, or abolish it and create a new one.
Mm-hmm. And Jonathan, lastly, before I let you go, in terms of people who are seeking asylum here in the U.S., especially those approaching the southern border, we know that the Trump administration was outright denying people asylum, forcing them to apply for asylum, but remain in Mexico until their case was heard, or until Trump felt like dealing with it. I'm not exactly sure what his policy was on that, but has that changed at least? Are asylum seekers who are coming or attempting to enter here from the southern border, are they at least being allowed in at this point, or are they still being forced to remain in Mexico, sort of in this legal limbo until a U.S. court is ready to hear their application?
Yes. So as of right now, that has not changed. They are still being held in Mexico. Like I said before, Biden did create an executive order to have a task force to investigate exactly what's been going on at the border in terms of in terms of the migrant families that are there. So that program is still in existence as of right now. President Biden has not rescinded that program. And we don't know how long the task force is going to take for them to do their investigation. But like I said, Biden has been taking a lot of cautious approaches to immigration right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to be keeping an eye on the situation. You know, promises have been made, right? And we expect those promises to be kept, especially to the communities that need it the most, that need this relief and this attention, but also people who turned up and turned out to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They need to understand that, you know, action is needed now, not later. But I want to thank you so much. We've been speaking with Jonathan Aftalion. Am I saying your name correctly, Jonathan? Help me out.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's Aftalion.
Good. Wonderful. Jonathan Aftalion is an experienced immigration attorney who specializes in defense of deportation folks and dealing with family petitions. And Jonathan, thank you so much. I appreciate you making some time and sharing your expertise with us today. Thank you so much for having me, Kim. Appreciate it. All right, guys, hold on. I think we have some more comments from the comments. So guys, the long story short is the Biden administration slow walking help for immigrants, migrants, refugees. Almost like he's slow walking that $2,000 stimulus check. Am I right? Joe Biden is taking his sweet old time. And you know what? Old people should not take that much time. Joe Biden is 78 years old. Hurry the fuck up. Courtney, the SLP, says Biden doesn't seem like he is really trying to do anything but, quote, be bipartisan. Mm-hmm. His whole campaign, girl, yes, which we knew was a farce for neoliberals. Listen, it is amazing, really, like the speed in which Joe Biden is coming, you know, I mean, it's mask off, right? In the future sense, right? not COVID sense, but mask off, bro. Like we see you, dog. Like you let that mask go way too quick. From Periscope. Hey, Periscope and Twitter people. Hey, do us a favor. Follow us on Twitter at BurnItDownKB. Follow the Twitter page. But Periscope people, don't forget Periscope is going away at the end of March. So please make your way over to YouTube and please subscribe to the channel Burn It Down with Kim Brown from Periscope. Wait, what's the person's name? Person's name is it is way too long and I'm not going to even try to say that. But the comment is why administrations ignore the DV 2020 winners. What's that? Their visas will be expiring at the end of March. Is that the lottery? I wish I had not let Jonathan go before I received that question, because that's the lottery visa thing for people to be able to stay. Wonderful. Periscope. Appreciate your questions and your comments and your concerns. Okay. So I want to thank Jonathan for stopping by and sharing his expertise with us. And now that our company is gone, we gonna roll up. Y'all ready to smoke? Oh, we're gonna be smoking, drinking, and chilling. Hey, and the reason I'm rolling up is because our next couple of topics have blown the fuck out of me. Now, if you are not familiar with the term blow the fuck out of me, it is not a sexual term at all. It is an expression of frustration that I believe is particular here to the DMV. When we say we are blown, meaning that we are exasperated, we are disappointed, to say the least. And something that's happening today that I hope you are all aware of, and if you're not, you need to be aware of it. Today, the fight for $15 an hour federal minimum wage continues, but in the form of a fast food worker strike. Fast food workers are striking across this country, from Detroit to Florida to North Carolina. And speaking of, I want us to check out this clip from the action that is happening today in North Carolina. Hold on, let me make sure I'm about to preface this correctly. How come my page is not moving? But guys, it's not a game. First of all, do not go eat fast food today. Bad day to go eat fast food, because we want to stand in solidarity with our sisters and brothers and others that are out there on the line, trying to provide better situations, better accommodations for their families. So what we're about to see is a hybrid of two clips that Brother Tunde put together for us, but it was from the North Carolina Raise Up Now, right? And so hundreds of fast food workers walk off the job on strike today in Durham, North Carolina, and across the country to demand $15 an hour minimum wage, safer working conditions, and respect on the job. The sister that we are going to see speak, her name is Cycloria, and she shares her story of working at the McDonald's for herself and for her baby and how badly she needs the $15 an hour minimum wage right the hell now. This is for Raise Up for 15. This is what's happening in North Carolina today with fast food workers. Brother Tunde, if we could.
My name is Sequoia Carroll. I'm a member of McDonald's and a member of NC Fight 15. I've been in this organization for 6 years. I'm doing this because my kids need me. I'm pregnant with a baby on the way. It's the third baby, and I already have 2 kids. I can't take this no more. There was times when I didn't have a break. I came in on my day off, and my own manager didn't tell me how much I'm getting paid an hour. The highest check I ever got was literally $291. I can't take it no more. I'm halfway homeless. I need this $15 an hour, not only for me, but for everybody. I'm struggling in this poverty. This job is not worth $8.50. I need 15 now. And if the CEO knew how the fuck I felt, he should know that I need 15 now. I'm busting my butt, killing myself to get the minimum wage. I can't wait for 4 or 5 years. I'm only 24 years old. So I just want y'all to know that NC Raise Up is my family. And I need this $15 an hour right the hell now, because I can't take it. I can't take it no more. I'm doing this for not only me, but for everybody. We need 15 right now.
That is heartbreaking. I mean, I'm seriously trying not to like get emotional by watching her very desperate plea to be paid a living wage. She says she makes $8.50 an hour. Y'all, I mean, I don't care if I tell on myself in terms of age. Y'all know how old I am, but like, I made $8 an hour working at Chuck E. Cheese in 1996 as the birthday party coordinator. And that was a promotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think I came in there making like $5 and some change, but I got promoted to birthday party coordinator. I was making $8 an hour. I thought I was hot shit, but that was in 1996. It is 2021. And to pay people less than $15 an hour right now is unconscionable. And what is not most, but something that is as disturbing about the fact that even still is a thing. In the $1.9 trillion America relief proposal package that the Biden administration has got out there, one of the areas that they seem most willing to compromise on with the Republicans is the $15 an hour minimum wage, federal minimum wage. And let's be clear, $15 an hour ain't even enough. If we keeping it a buck, let all the economists tell it. Had the federal minimum wage been keeping up with inflation over these past 25 fucking years, the minimum wage should be $23 an hour. So $15 an hour minimum wage is still a bullshit fucking compromise. Thank you, Tunde. Tunde pointed out that the young lady who just spoke said that she had been working at McDonald's for 6 years. And like, I mean, $8.50 was probably her raise, right? She probably didn't come in there making $8.50. She probably came in there making $7.25, right? But having worked there several years, now she makes $8.50. And, you know, when I hear like conservatives and people be so callous to people be like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you go to school? Why didn't you? try to set yourself up. Well, these be the same people will be like, well, why don't you go work at McDonald's, And people, I'm sure, don't choose these careers or these jobs as career paths, right? I mean, this is what is in proximity to them in terms of transportation. This is the job that they can get to. This is the job that will give them hours if they need it. But again, a lot of these fast food workers are essential workers. Were they getting hazard pay throughout the pandemic? Absolutely not. And I wonder, why Democrats are so quick to compromise with these people's lives, right? Like the most vulnerable are the peoples whose lives are on the negotiating table with Congress, right? Between the Biden administration and whatever the fuck Congress is trying to do. Oh, and speaking of Congress, hold on. Okay, so Congress, the House managers, the House Democrats were all pissed off, right? That Donald Trump got acquitted on Saturday. I mean, not that was like some big surprise or spoiler alert or something that was unforeseen, but we talked about this on Friday, right? Like, please have no expectations of rich, wealthy, powerful white men trying to hold another rich, powerful, wealthy white man accountable. And only in America can a majority of the fucking Senate vote to impeach the son of a bitch, right? And the motherfucker gets acquitted. How does that work? Right? Like, again, only in America can a candidate for president win a majority of the popular vote, but still lose because of the electoral college bullshit. That sort of built-in backdoor racist, we're going to make sure that, wink, wink, nod, nod. We're going to make sure we still win this. And I don't mean you and me as we. I mean the rich, powerful, racist whites as we. And let me stress, racist, not all whites. And let me hold on, while I'm talking. Thank you to all of our white viewers who have never, not once, said in the comments, Kim, not all white people. Listen, y'all the real MVPs. I appreciate that, because you know what that tells me? That tells me that y'all are not liberal, that you are, in fact, on the correct side of Black liberation, because really, only a liberal would say not all white people, right? Like only a misogynist man would say not all men. Of course, not all white people and not all men. Yes, we know that. And if you say that, then a hit dog will holler. Why are you feeling guilty, bruh? Why you got to quantify it? But I digress. But like I said, speaking of Congress, let's check out y'all girl. And I'm going to say y'all girl because that's y'all girl. Nancy Pelosi, y'all. Nancy Pelosi. She was so upset that the Senate had acquitted Donald Trump. She kept walking in and out of the House impeachment manager's presser on the 13th, right? And like she would come up to the podium, she'd say something, and then she'd walk away. Somebody would ask a question, she'd come right back. So the clip that we're about to check out is Nancy Pelosi being asked about the statement that Mitch McConnell read on the floor of the Senate, where, he basically talked out of both sides of his mouth. You understand what I mean by that? While condemning Trump's actions, he still made sure that he covered the whole room. Well, Trump did some shit, but, the Senate doesn't have the constitutional authority to impeach a man after he's out of office. And Nancy Pelosi was like, well, Mitch, you set up the fucking schedule, you asshole. You're the reason why he was, the impeachment hearings happened after he left office. But here is what she had to say when asked about Mitch McConnell's statements, but peep what she said during the context of her statements. Tunde, please.
He even hedged on that. Remember when he talked about incitement? He said he didn't think this rose to level. Oh, and so he was hedging all over the place. I don't know whether it was for donors or what, but whatever it was a very disingenuous speech. And I say that regretfully because I always want to be able to work with the leadership of the other party. I think our country needs a strong Republican Party. It's very important. And for him to try to have it every which way But we will be going forward to make sure that this never happens again in terms of what were to investigate and evaluate what caused this, and both in terms of the motivation, but also in terms of the security that we have to have as we go forward, recognizing how inflaming even some of our elected officials.
Where to begin? First of all, Nancy Pelosi says, and I hate to say this because I want to have a good working relationship with the opposition party, but we need a strong Republican Party. For why? what? And I didn't hear the reason. Like, what is the reason? Why are Democrats so invested in the health of Republicans? Like, why do y'all care if the Republican Party is good? The Republican Party is on some more bullshit than y'all. So the Democrats seem to loathe the idea of being in power. Like, they do not want to flex their muscle. Like, they do not want to, like, yank that chain of the GOP. And it's really upsetting to see, especially given how early we are in the Biden administration. Y'all, it's fucking February, okay? Joe Biden hadn't even been in office 3 months. And these Democrats are, for one, they were way overinvested in the impeachment hearings, right? Spent how much money on that? Y'all spent how many weeks? Well, maybe not that many weeks, but yeah, some weeks, right? Because shit happened January 6th. So where we are, February 16th. So that's a good 5 weeks. Well, y'all worked on the impeachment. Well, good for y'all. And y'all got some of Biden's cabinet people confirmed. Well, good for y'all. But you know what the fuck y'all didn't do? Get my $2,000 stimulus check relief bill passed. So failed. Second of all, when Nancy Pelosi goes into gets into the weeds talking about the disingenuousness of Mitch McConnell, honey, read the room. How long you been at this? How long you been in Congress? Not with Mitch McConnell, because Mitch McConnell's in the Senate, Nancy Pelosi's in the House, but still, you've been peeping Mitch McConnell game for a long time, right? So Mitch McConnell played the role of chief obstructionist during the Obama administration. No matter how I feel about Obama, I can say that Obama was stymied tremendously by a Republican Congress, but they felt emboldened to stymie the Obama administration after that first term, not even after the first term, really after those, Obama got in office in 2010 midterms, right? Right? Well, that's when the Tea Party started to make its way into the halls of power to influence Republicans to go to this crazy train that they are on now. But because Democrats, and I don't want to, they didn't hold their nuts. I don't know how else to say it. Democrats failed to hold their fucking nuts from 08 to 10, and the Republicans said, oh shit, look at these. They are a bunch of fucking suckers. They got the White House, Senate, and the House, and they don't know what to do with it. So guess what? We about to flip them tables a little bit, and they not about to get shit done, dog, for the rest of the Obama administration. And lo and fucking behold, is that not what happened? Howsoever, when Donald Trump got into office, they knew exactly what to do with it. They didn't hesitate. They didn't ask questions. They didn't reach across the aisle. They didn't do none of that shit, right? And this is the issue that I think that Democrats are really going to have, because what I'm seeing play out in the media is this question of whether or not the Republican Party is divided, right? Has the Trump faction taken over the party? Well, that answer is yes, okay? Lindsey Graham, oh my God, Lindsey fucking Graham. Lindsey Graham, he got on TV over the weekend or on the Sunday shows and was sizing Trump like, hey, the MAGA brand is strong. It's time for it to be Trump plus. They're trying to run Trump's daughter-in-law for the North Carolina Senate seat in a couple of years. I mean, crazy shit, right? But all this is very much on the table because Democrats don't know what the fuck they're doing when they get into power. They just act like, they don't have any choices except but to work with the Republicans. And Joe Biden, Lord have mercy. I hope he gets off of that extremely soon, but he's not likely to, as we see, because what is he willing to compromise on? The $15 an hour federal minimum wage that had that young lady in North Carolina in tears because she cannot afford to feed her family, despite the fact that she's worked at McDonald's for 6 years now. And not to mention she's working during a pandemic. To the comments. I'm just kidding. I'm getting high now, y'all. So now I'm starting to ramble, but I don't want to ramble because I think we got some good stuff going on. Ooh. Molly told me to shout out Antoine Higgins. Why am I shouting out Antoine Higgins? Hey, what's up, Antoine Higgins? Molly said you became a patron during the show. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you. We try to bring you the Lord's work over here. Praise be to Allah. What's up? Who is this? Larry Fine. What's up, Larry Fine? Larry Fine said, because the Dems are Republicans. Correct. Yes. Okay. So, I was thinking about this, right? Because sure, I could just come on here and just complain about Democrats all the time because, they give us plenty of material to do so. But maybe actually, I'm sorry, because that was the point I was trying to make, right? Because the media talks about the split within the Republican Party. I don't think there is a split. I think that the Republicans are reading the fucking tea leaves and they understand that Trump train is the way to go. You want to win some shit? Roll with Trump, right? I mean, and who is opposed to Trump within the Republican Party besides the Mitt Romneys, the Liz Cheneys, the Larry Hogans of the world? But they are being dealt with at the state level. I think it was Richard Burr for North Carolina, Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, Liz Cheney, like the Republicans who voted to impeach Trump, their state GOP offices are mad at them. They are mad at them. Them Bamas is all getting primaried. Mark my words. But to me, the real split is in the Democratic Party. And it is because people like you and I who are reliable Democratic voters. I mean, I was probably until 2012, but nope, you niggas can't count on me at all. But, dog, like they not understanding, like people are going to be very upset about this $2,000 check. And the Biden administration really needs to take heed because you cannot promise people money and not pay them people their money. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. You promised a certain amount. We expected a certain amount. Georgia turned out in historical ways in a pandemic. And it's going to be real hard to get them same Georgia voters out in 2022 and 2024 if Joe Biden doesn't keep this very, very simple promise. So the issue that I think that Democrats are going to have is going to be an enthusiasm gap in the midterms and in the presidential election in 2024. Better hope that it's not Trump running as the Republican nominee. Because of the Electoral College, all them shits that the Democrats thought they had, you know what I mean? Like, nope, them joints is going right back, shorty. Because the MAGA brand is still strong. Even though Trump, and it may not seem like it, because we're not getting the usual barrage of like the Trump stream of crazy via Twitter and via Facebook, right? But the Trump stream of crazy is just, it's dammed up right now. And it's all building up behind that dam. And it is waiting to be unleashed. And it's going to be like, now you know I'm a stoner now, in the Two Towers and the Lord of the Rings. When Treebeard and them let the river go on Saruman in the damn tower, sure, it's going to be just like that. And it's not going to be cute. And Democrats are going to have a real hard time getting people to show back up when they didn't run them their money. You did not run us our money, Joey, Kamala. You supposed to run us our check. You ain't run me my check. I ain't showing up for you. Fuck you. It's really that simple. Who we got here in the comments? What's this say? I'm starting to get high now. Lord have mercy. What's that, Raina? Raina Simone says that fast food is one of the hardest jobs. You goddamn right. I've worked in my life 10-hour shifts with no breaks or lunch. It's clear none of these politicians worked any of these jobs. Right. But hold on. But you see, that's why they hate AOC, right? Because AOC, pardon me, hits a tone with working people. Because AOC has done that bartender life. She's done that server life. And and she knows that shit ain't easy. And that's why part of the reason why she resonates so much, because she gets it. She's not some, one of these little elitists, even though she is a tiny bit elite. She has, she's had elitist opportunities. You know what I mean? She studied abroad. She went to a very prestigious university. I'm not diminishing her credentials at all. I'm just saying she's been in lofted spaces even before arriving at Congress. But at the same time, she's been on the other side. She's been out there with us. I'm trying to think of, oh, Lord, y'all don't even want to know what my hardest job was. Picture it. Sicily, 1912. A young Italian girl in a small village. Okay, sorry. Y'all know where. I'm sorry. I had to do my little Sophia Petrillo for y'all. But no, okay. Hardest job I've had. I worked as a home healthcare aide, and I'm trying to think of the year. But I've actually worked as a home healthcare aide on 2 occasions in my life, both when I was probably between the ages of 19 and 23. Woo, child, I'm about to tell y'all a real good story. Okay, so I worked for a company, and this years ago. I don't even fucking know the name of the company. His name was Rem Maryland. Y'all ever heard? No, nobody's ever heard that. It's fine. But at the time, they owned a bunch of homes in the state of Maryland. They were group homes for teens or older teens and young adults who were either wards of the state or very disabled. I can't recall necessarily what their status was. So this one house, now I worked at several houses. Listen, if you ever have the opportunity to work with people who are infirmed or disabled, you should really do it, for the simple fact that, number one, most of us are going to become disabled at some points in our lives. And I think that understanding how to care for people who may not otherwise know how to care for themselves or have the ability to care for themselves is a soul building experience that probably everybody should have. So this one day, I'm working at this house out in Frederick, Maryland. Frederick is far from where I live, okay? It took me like 45 minutes to an hour to get to Frederick. And of course I was, staying the night. I'm pretty sure I did stay the night. Anyway, so 3 adult males, all with developmental disabilities, and one of them had physical disabilities, although he couldn't walk, but he could still, he would scoot around, right? He could get around, but he just couldn't walk. And very sweet guys. I don't think, if our memory serves, none of them were verbal, but they were sweet. They had real sweet disposition, right? So we're getting him ready for bed, and just, clean. I just changed the boy's bed, and he's not a boy. I don't know how old he was. He was over 20 something. And he was in the tub. So I was washing him up, right? Washed him up, got him out the tub, scrub his, getting him, drying him off, about to start to get him dressed. And this Bama shits everywhere. And when I say he shit everywhere, he shit everywhere. And let me tell you, there are few things that will make you ask, why, baby Jesus, did this just happen? Then getting somebody clean, having to have washed a person, and then that person shits and not in the toilet. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I just had, it just got PTSD flashbacks, because he had shit in the bedroom, like we was getting ready to get in the bed, or was getting ready to get him dressed. And so there's shit on the bed. There's shit on the floor. I have to get him back into the bathroom. So there's shit in the hallway. There's shit in the bathroom. There's shit in the tub. There's shit everywhere. Oh my gosh. Point being, I did not make nearly enough money to do that job. And people who work home healthcare, people who work fast food, as Raina was just talking about, listen. Pay them people, man. Them people earn $15 an hour and then some, $25 an hour, $50 an hour. Like, again, we can't. You can't talk about those being unskilled jobs or low skilled jobs. Fuck you. Like, you know how hard it is clean up shit? Unskilled? Kiss my ass. Are you fucking kidding me? Who else? We got some. We got some people. Shout out to Hazel Cortez. Hello, Hazel. Thank you so much for donating on Cash App. We so appreciate it. $BIDWKB. And shout out to Barbara. I wonder if Barbara, is that my cousin Barbara? I have a cousin named Barbara. My cousin Barbara and I have the same birthday. So if it is cousin Barbara, thank you, cousin Barbara. And if it's not cousin Barbara, thank you anyway, Barbara. I will call you cousin Barbara anyway, because you showing the right deal. Fuck imperialism, says Democrats not using their power is all the more reason to ditch, overthrow the party. You goddamn right, in favor of a working class party. Now listen, maybe we should have them people on. Thank you, fuck imperialism. 100% correct. They are not using their power. Fuck them Bamas. Like, I was thinking about creating a party, the free healthcare and weed party, which I think will have a lot of support. Like, I think a lot of people can get behind free healthcare and free weed, or at least legal weed. Universal legal weed. Like, ain't no like, it's federally fucking legal. Like, I don't want to hear no shit. Like, it's 2020 fucking one. I think it's it for the comments, but I think I hit all my thank yous. Is that correct? Molly's and Jean-Vieb's. Thank you very much to the people that work on this program. Molly and Jean-Vieb and Tunde, they do an amazing job, and this would not happen without them at all, because this is about all I can do. This is the extent of my abilities, and it ends at that camera. So that's actually not true, but I can't do what they do, is my fucking point. But anyway, y'all, be with us Friday. Is there something else I'm forgetting? Someone tell me, because I clearly the J is halfway done. So it's possible I have forgotten some things. But if not, we will see y'all on Friday. For BID with KB. I don't know if we have, we're going to be talking with the Hood Communism blog. Is that right, Jean-Vieb? I'm not sure if we confirmed that or not, but we're going to be talking about the Communist Manifesto. Have you guys read that in life? I haven't, but I ordered it and I'm about to read it because I saw it was like 120 pages. I'm like, I could read that. I thought that shit was like 250, 300, 500, 750 pages. I said, 120, I can do 120. I can do that. Because I've just never read the shit. I was in school for journalism. You know what the fuck that means. I was trying to get my requisites and be the fuck out. I wish I had the time. Really, I wish I had the money to have broadened my collegiate experience from an academic standpoint, but I ain't had the bread for all that. So, you know. But anyway, y'all, see you Friday. Thanks again for everything. We are talking to them. Yes, that's what Jean-Vieb says. Yes. So yeah, we either way, we're gonna be here on Friday regardless. So show up. Thank you very much to everybody that is checking us out or discovering us for the first time. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Burn It Down with Kim Brown, and follow us on Twitter at Burn It Down KB. See y'all on Friday. Okay. See y'all later. Okay. Bye.